mishap. Zoom is frustrating because we're trying to live stream this ranking summit and we're having problems. But I've got everybody back. We're going to kick this thing off right now. Thank you for joining us. This is a 11 expert panel ranking summit where we're going to toss out a player, argue it, and come up with, as a group, a consensus top 25 rankings. And we're going to start off with Fantasy Football Beast in the bottom right corner. Beast, who's your 1.01? And make your argument, young man.
I think it's got to be McCaffrey. Such a great season last year. I get the concerns, I have concerns with Matt Rule coming in, running a college offense in the NFL. It's not always, the safest pick to go with a new coach, especially when it came from the NCAA. But he was too good last year. He just got paid big money. I think he's a very safe pick regardless of everything else. I think Teddy Bridgewater coming in helps him. So McCaffrey's got to be the pick.
McCaffrey. Now, raise your hand if you agree that McCaffrey is your 1.01. Please raise your hand.
You got me.
Okay, so I see the Lord's hand down, my hand is down, and Fantasy Football State of Mind, Rob, your hand's down. State of Mind, tell me why you have somebody else, and who the hell is it?
I'm going to keep this short. Simply, it hasn't happened in over 18 years. Priest Mahomes was the last person to finish as the 1.01 in back-to-back seasons. So just from a plain history does not repeat itself often, and there's so many changes in the Carolina offense in itself. I just do not see Christian McCaffrey breaking the records that he did, just like he did last year. So for that reason, I'm going to go Saquon Barkley with the 1.01. Sky's the limit with the upside. Over 1,000 yards, over 1,400 combined yards, and only 13 games last year. The dude is a stud. So for me, I think it's Saquon. I think it should be Saquon with the 1.01 this year.
Fantasy Football Lord, you also had your hand down. I would love to know what you think. Who is your 1.01 in 2020?
Mine is also going to be Saquon Barkley. Just going by simple physics, there's going to be natural regression with Christian McCaffrey. Saquon Barkley, after last season, the injury, he has nowhere to go but up. Daniel Jones will get a little better. He'll get a little better with his receivers. The only thing I worry about is the new coach and them getting the system going and stuff. But like I said, Saquon Barkley, the most physically gifted running back that we have in the league, and he can't go nowhere but up. Rookie year, he caught 91 passes. I'm looking for something in that range again.
I think people forget how good he is, and it was weird, like, toward the end of the year, not the final, 2 or 3 weeks when he started to get going again, but, week 10, week 11, I did a mock draft. Couch and I do mock drafts, super early, do all kinds of crazy rankings. I'm sure you saw some of this a little bit too, Couch, but people were, mad at you and thought you were crazy by having Barkley at 1 or 2, or at least 2, heading into early 2020 rankings back in week 10, 11, 12. It was like people were giving up on him as a top 2 overall player. Now everybody's back on he's a top 2 guy, but I feel like McCaffrey just, changes an offense, overworked. The fact that Barkley he has every bit of ability that McCaffrey has and more, in my opinion. I think McCaffrey's more of a dangerous player. Barkley's a better player, I think better than anybody in the NFL. You can't go wrong with either. But I don't think we swayed the group. Raise your hand if you're still voting McCaffrey.
I'm still voting McCaffrey. I don't think that was enough of a.
Yeah.
I get the Priest Holmes thing, but at the same time, that's I don't think that can be a valid argument just because it hasn't happened since then. Because I'm sure before Priest Holmes got that number 1 running back spot the following year, a lot of people were saying it's not going to happen because it's never happened. So the fact that it could still happen just because it still only has happened once doesn't really make.
You're telling me if I don't say the word Priest Holmes, you're not changing your ranking?
I'm saying if you say the word Priest Holmes, it doesn't affect my rankings.
I also thought I'd point out that McCaffrey was number 1 in 2018. If you just look at through week 16, which is the normal fantasy season, if you look through week 17, Barkley was 0.3 points ahead of him. But if you look at through week 16, McCaffrey was number 1. So if you're looking at the fantasy season, McCaffrey was number 1 back-to-back years. I just want to point that out.
Ooh.
How can you? No rebuttal.
That may have been a mic drop.
On that note, expert, you are up at number 2. So toss out your 1.02, my man.
It's clearly a Saquon Barkley for me.
Okay, let's take a vote. Anybody disagree? Raise your hand if you disagree.
If you
Looks
disagree,
like
raise your hand. No.
we got a smart panel on our hands. No debate here. You need to. I'm gonna block you if you basically comment that you have somebody else that you're 1 or 2. Okay, so next up would be Rapper. Rapper, who is the 1.03 in 2020? I think we're gonna have a little bit of a potential debate on our hands here. Where's the rapper? We can't hear you. Like
This
for real.
is not a joke this time.
For real.
This is not a joke.
It's just not me this time.
Put up an E for Elliott. Maybe it's your head.
Eat some cereal if it's Zeke. If it's Mike Thomas, do a two-handed catch, possession grab. Okay, it's Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas. Can't guard Mike. Let's go.
That's not a real valid argument though, Rapper. So we're gonna take a vote. Who thinks it's Mike Thomas? Raise your hand. One person. Who thinks it's Zeke Elliott? Okay, Joey, who is your pick? Guys, did you say Elliott?
Yeah.
Okay, Joey, who are you even thinking?
Dalvin Cook.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I can't get mad at that.
So I think a better question, Smitty, should be: can we get a vote for the Dalvin Cook owners? So who do you think out of the group, Dalvin Cook should go 3? Raise your hands.
Dalvin Cook, top 3. We got
Was like 3 to
3
5.
people.
Can we vote Elliott real quick? Rapper, we'll come back to you once you're good. Really, it sounds like you're like on the can or something, but
Me?
yeah.
Hey, hold on.
No, you're a little better. Go ahead.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike Thomas, real quick. The reason I pick him is security. Mike Thomas is a PR machine, consistent as you know what, and I don't think you can pass up on that type of production and consistency, and he's never injured. So the reason I picked him over was because Zeke lost a very important lineman, Frederick. Zeke has never had an injury. Usually, and I hate to knock on wood, but usually running backs at some point have an injury in their career, and he has a lot of wear and tear on those tires. So find that with the loss of Frederick, I'd rather go with Michael Thomas.
Hey, real quickly, who's got like the TV on in the background, or has somebody doing a press conference like on the corner of the room there? Is that you, Lord? Who's talking right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just mute it in between, Lord, if you don't mind. I hate asking that of you, fantasy football Lord, but thank you.
We can all just mute it too.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll mute if I'm gonna talk.
So wait, who else went Michael Thomas?
I went Michael Thomas.
okay,
Couch
Lord,
did.
who did you go? Who did you pick?
Not Michael Thomas.
Okay, why Michael Thomas? Couch.
Well, it's Rapper pretty much hit it on the head, and I'm not gonna argue with the Zeke or Cook. I'm okay with that, but receivers are the one that's reliable. Like I wouldn't be totally shocked if Saquon didn't finish top 2. I wouldn't be totally shocked if a running back got injured. When it comes to receivers, I would be like dead shocked if Mike Thomas didn't finish top 3, and I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't even finish top 1. So it's that security. You can rely on wide receivers from year to year, and I felt like Rob kind of made a point that I kind of hear a lot, like, okay, no RB has finished. Yeah, no quarterback has finished back-to-back, or it's super rare. And I was just thinking, who has? And I was like, Kelce, off the top of my head, Kelce and AB. So, I mean, when you talk about wide receivers, you can rely on their to project them easier from season to season. And I think Mike Thomas, and we're of course we're talking full PPR. Maybe some of you guys are talking half PPR, but pretty much everyone plays PPR across the board.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going Mike Thomas. He's got to be, I'd say he should be at least in your top 4 rankings for everybody.
Rob, what are you thinking here? What should we do?
I mean, I think the argument, because there's only 2 people that voted in the Mike Thomas train, the rest is it's going to come down to Zeke or Dalvin Cook. So, unfortunately, I think we have to put Michael Thomas on the back burner for now and just debate whether this is going to be a Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott show. So, Couch and Rapper, if you have to pick between Zeke and Dalvin Cook, which way are you guys going?
I got Zeke for safety, but it was super close. This one was like head to head, but I'll vote Zeke.
Rapper?
Oh, stump.
I'm glad I put somewhat inappropriate language on my Google ad selection for this video. Go ahead, Rapper. Especially if he takes his clothes off.
Rapper, who's
He's taking his shit right now.
What? You just go to the next player on your rankings, bud. That's all you gotta answer.
They're all in his head.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. Who's the problem with me is I have Chubb, Zeke, and Cook all so close. But I think I would take Chubb then.
Hey, okay.
Oh, thanks for making this easy, Rap. Okay. I think raise your hand if it's Zeke.
1, 2,
Wait, no.
4, 5, 6,
that's
7.
more than
It's Zeke, everybody.
Zeke 3.
Zeke is with the 1.03.
I'm
Joey,
not a huge fan
we're
of Zeke
moving
either.
on.
Really
Moving
not.
on, everybody. So we're moving on to the next pick. Joey, take the floor. Fantasy football analyst. Who do you got nominating at the 4th spot?
So I guess because I can't get back in here. So I guess because of the fact that we all decided on Zeke for the 3rd, I'll just continue with Dalvin Cook for the 4th. And I know we're gonna get pushback from Michael Thomas at this spot. Probably maybe Chubb in some parts, but I think Dalvin Cook should definitely be I think he should be the number 3 guy, just because he's got the PPR upside. The offense is going to run through him. There's arguments about injuries, but if you really look at the injuries, it was the ACL, the year coming off the ACL. He was overworked last year, and they didn't give him proper rest. I mean, when he hurt his chest, if they gave him a 1-game break, he could have played out the rest of the year. But they kept pushing it. He got re-injured, and that's just what happens. If you get a little injury, you need time to rest. They didn't give him that time. So theoretically, he's not injury prone. Realistically, he's not injury prone.
You get Madison too, and you're like absolutely locked and loaded.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could do that with just about any running back.
Draft Mike Boone too.
But Madison is like Kareem Hunt. There's like a different level. Madison or Kareem Hunt get in their lineups, they will be a top 5 running back. It's not like, oh, they get in there, they're pretty good. Like, they're going to be elite. So I think, to your point, I'm not trying to argue with you that Madison, and who you can get really late with Cook, that is one of the safest top 5 picks you can make. But the question is, what about the Mike Thomas votes and all that? So, Rob, what do you think we do here?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to Dalvin Cook or Michael Thomas here when we're looking at the 4th spot. So let's take a quick vote. Michael Thomas believers here at the 4th spot. Raise your hand. Kind of split here. We have 5. This is close. I want to hear an argument. Spencer, if you can jump on here, Fantasy Football Guru. Let's hear from you. Why is Michael Thomas ahead of Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, man, I gotta go with Michael Thomas just because of like we had brought up earlier, the safe consistency factor with Mike Thomas. I mean, he's so safe, so consistent. You know what you're getting there. And I know analysts that said Cook isn't injury prone per se, but it's just the way they run him in Minnesota. It's probably gonna lead to another injury. They run him really hard every game, it seems like, and Madison. And that's another thing that kind of concerns me. It's like if you draft Cook, then you got to worry about getting Madison as a handcuff. And it's like when I have my first rounder, I want somebody that's safe, secure, not that injury prone, especially if I'm in the top 4. And with Mike Thomas, I mean, you know what you're getting. The receptions are off the charts, 149 catches, over 1,700 yards. I mean, it's just there's no worries there. When you draft Mike Thomas, you know what you're getting.
Can I ask you this?
I gotta jump in here.
Go ahead.
I gotta jump in here. I gotta defend myself.
Defend it.
Joey's mad with
All
his
right,
championship belt behind him from the Throne League, we might add. Thanks for rubbing that in.
I had to have it nearby. You know, you can't not have it nearby. So you're saying the amount of touches he got concerns you, that it could lead to another injury. But then why are we all over Christian McCaffrey all of a sudden, who has what was it, like 100 more touches? I don't even know how many fucking touches.
Almost 400 touches.
Lord?
That's why I'm not feeling him at 1.4.
Why? Because he's not. Were you saying he's not getting the workload, but he's also getting too much touches?
No, I'm saying he's getting the workload. I'm just concerned that he won't be able to handle.
He has more of an injury history, though, Cook, you could say. But Guru and analysts, let me ask you this, though. I don't know if you feel the same way what I just stated about Madison, but if I guaranteed you get Madison with Cook, do you still take MT?
Yes, because then in that round where I got Madison with MT, I could get another player there with a lot of upside.
Okay.
That could potentially be my flex. So, yeah, I'm still going MT.
Vote time, Rob?
Revote, guys. Cook believers, raise your hand again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot, guys.
Wait, I thought MT was 5. Do we have a flip-flopper amongst us?
With MT, it'd be 6. MT should get it, I would think.
Yeah.
Vote for MT. MT, raise your hand.
What's going on? Did I not know how to count? Rapper, can you hear us?
Rapper?
Rapper's not Michael Thomas.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's locked.
Okay.
This is weird.
Or the Twilight Zone here. And Beast, when you talk, Beast, please speak up a little bit more than the average bear in here because I've heard from people you're a little low. No problem. Just letting you know so people can hear.
He young and cool.
And Lord, speak lower a little bit. I'm just kidding. or like maybe
I was giving him an example.
Maybe softer. Maybe not. Maybe it's not loud. You're just like you're heavy. Your voice is heavy. And did you change, by the way? I think he changed. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so what do we do, Rob? Rob, you decide who we're putting here. I'll let you.
We have 5 Michael Thomas. That would mean Dalvin.
Wait, nobody talked about Stephon Diggs. Is all I'm gonna say. So it's a little. To me, it's a little different. There's a worry. You know, we brought up legitimate worries with all the other players, and I respect everyone. But what about Stephon Diggs?
Let's do this real quick, Rob. What if we put for time's sake, we put Thomas 4, Cook 5. We move on to number 6.
I think that's fair.
Okay, because I think we've all made the case that it's Thomas and Cook that we're arguing here. So, Rob, you call out number Nation. So Nation would be up. We have an extra. We have. Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
So Nation, go ahead.
So you're up, Nation. Let's hear from you.
All right. So we said Cook 4, Thomas 5.
No.
We said Thomas first and then Cook.
Yeah.
Either
Thomas then Cook.
So who you got for 1.6?
So 6, I got Alvin Kamara, my boy. I think he's in a contract here as well. If they don't extend him, I think they could run him into the ground. Like, I think he could go off this year because I don't know if they're going to want to extend him, especially with the running back market. But, I mean, he was hurt last year and he still finished as top 10 running back. He had one thing I saw just looking at his game log. From weeks 1 to 15, he had 2 total touchdowns. 1 receiving, 1 rushing. So I think that's bound to go up. So there's some arguments either way, but I think getting that running back early is big, so I got Kamara here.
I like it. So who else wants to nominate a player? Joey, who do you have? Who do you think you should go if it's not Alvin Kamara?
My guy's going to be Derrick Henry, but I'm not even so much I'm not even upset because I'm like pro Derrick Henry. I'm just very anti Alvin Kamara. I probably have him a lot lower than you guys.
Wow.
He had a low touchdown rate. But what about his situation has changed that's going to increase?
He was hurt. His think about what he did the year prior and the fact that he was banged up all year long.
Positive regression. Bound, I think.
Positive regression, sure. But, I mean, they added Emmanuel Sanders. Latavius Murray is still going to be there. Taysom Hill is going to be in those wacky plays. Michael Thomas is still the number 1 guy in that team. I just don't think that there's going to be an increase in volume for Kamara. He might get a few more touchdowns. But based on what I saw last year, I really don't think he's going to be – I don't think he merits a top 5 running back pick. He just doesn't –
In PPR, though? In PPR?
He was top 5?
Yeah, in PPR.
He hurt last year, too.
Yeah.
I remember
he was hurt.
I want you from fantasy guides.
Yeah. Guides.
He was top 8 last year playing with a bum ankle in points per game. He still finished as, I believe it was maybe it was the RB10, and his first 2 years he was top 5. So the offense, it really hasn't changed much. He just didn't get the touchdowns last year. So I think he definitely. I have him as 5. I I just think it's going to be the same as usual. He'll just get positive regression and touchdowns this year.
And it's something to keep in mind too. He's caught 81 balls exactly each of the last 3 years. This
That's
guy's
crazy.
guaranteed to lock in 80 receptions or more. I think the touchdowns definitely go up just by default.
Yeah.
So I'm on board. Joey, if you want to give one more point to sway us, but I think all of us.
Joey ain't swaying me.
The Saints
Go ahead.
finally have their number 2 wide receiver with Emmanuel Sanders, and to say that he's guaranteed 80 catches, I just don't see it. Between Cook, between Sanders, between Thomas, between everyone on that team. And what if they draft a wide receiver in the first round? What if they take
I
another
agree
wide
with
receiver?
Joey, but I don't. Can I
Take a
speak?
lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
But I'll make it quick. So I agree with Joey. Look, the volume is a concern, but he checks all the other boxes though, right?
All of them.
We're playing PPR. When you have a running back, you want to be on a good team with the good old line. Any Saints running back's gonna ball out. That's already we saw Latavius Murray in 2 games. Every Saints running back's gonna ball out. So the volume's not there, but the talent is, and I think that kind of makes up with it. Alvin Kamara to me was always a question mark when I look at the Excel spreadsheet. I'm like, this doesn't add up. He doesn't get the consistent volume, but he's just that damn good. He's on a good team. He's got Breeze. They're gonna score a lot of touchdowns. He's a great PPR catcher, great O-line. Alvin Kamara, top 6 for me.
Anybody debating that? Show of hands. Who's got Alvin Kamara next?
One last.
Kamara.
Kamara.
Sway us. I want
Yeah,
to
Beast.
hear him, Sway.
Beast.
I'd like to nominate. Can you hear me? Is my audio all right?
Yeah, you're all right. But go ahead. Who are you nominating?
I'd like to nominate DeAndre Hopkins. I love the trade to Arizona. I think he's getting out. Not that Watson's great, but he's getting out of a pretty bad situation in Houston. With Bill O'Brien there, it's a mistake or disaster waiting to happen. Christian Kirk as Kyler Murray's number 1 last year, averaged 8.3 targets per game, which was ranked top 15 in the NFL, was around there. And Hopkins, obviously, is Hopkins. He's going to get more than that. I just think, he's in a very good situation. I think he's the most talented receiver in the NFL. I'm very high on him this year, especially in Kyler's second year.
Who?
QBs tend to make that big jump from year 1 to year 2.
Who likes Hopkins? Raise your hand if you like Hopkins here. No swaying going on, Beast, but you made a good argument. I think he's coming up here soon. Henry, who wants Henry here?
What, the number 6?
6.
Yeah.
Top 6.
Okay, so 1 vote. And who wants Kamara? Kamara it is. Okay. Now I guess it comes down to who's up, Rob. It's Fantasy Football Lord or is it Guides?
Yeah, we got Lord. Fantasy Football Lord nominated player. Who do you think should go with a 1.07?
Nick Chubb, baby.
Ooh, Rapper's gonna take a dump right here, alive on the show, because he had an aggressive face last time he mentioned Chubb.
Lord, you got to give me your argument, man.
What's up? Okay. Listen, man. 1,494 yards last year. The Browns, they faked it as a passing team with Odell and Jarvis Landry, but they know that the only time they can move the ball is when they run the offense through Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt is there, right? But he was there last season. They'll have the same type of timeshare as long as he's playing well. They got Kevin Stefanski now. Ooh, that name, right? Because that's the name that was coaching Dalvin Cook when he blew up, right? Yeah. So it'll be even better for him. It'll be better for the offense all around. He might even get more involved in the passing game. Not that he was ever bad in that to begin with, but just a little more. You'll see that offense flow even better. And they've upgraded the line, and they should take a tackle in the draft too. They just signed Conklin for the right side. They'll draft a left tackle in this upcoming draft, so we Gucci.
I think he presents a pretty damn good argument. Joey, are you on the Derrick Henry train here?
Yeah, definitely over Nick Chubb.
Is anybody else?
I'm okay with. I'll go with Chubb here because Stefanski coming over from Minnesota. What he just did with Dalvin Cook, I don't see how you don't see a replication. And
point per game.
And real quickly,
with Kareem Hunt there.
Yeah, but real quickly, this is a different scheme now. This is a different coaching staff. We can't really use what happened between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb to influence what we're going to get out of Stefanski running Chubb up the middle all day long, getting him probably 30% more production in PPR. And for me, Kareem Hunt, if you can lock him down at like round 7, 8, if you're lucky, but probably round 7,
He's not going
then you what?
He's not going that late.
You think 6, late 6?
I think 5th. Yeah.
Well,
he's got a big name.
Here's my solution for that. You don't touch your top 6 picks. Move your 7 and 8 together for another top of the 6. Take Kareem Hunt. Use some depth without touching your top 6 picks. But if you lock together Chubb and Hunt, that's a top 5 locked and loaded running back. Only Madison and Cook, Pollard and Zeke, and like Drake and Edmonds. Those are like all the I think locks in my opinion if you get the combos, because the offense will use those running backs.
You can't put Chase Edmonds.
I said Edmonds and Drake together are as locked as you can get. Yeah. In that offense, he will be. Edmonds, I love Drake, but we'll get to that.
Later, though.
We're gonna get to that.
We'll get to that. Don't worry. You know what? You want me to do it now?
My man want to talk about Kenyan Drake bad.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Really does. So I started.
You got who won the bet? Who
were you thinking here?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with analysts. I'm saying Derrick Henry. He's in a contract year too. The franchise.
PPR, I don't know though.
Ass legs.
This is PPR though.
Who here is for DeAndre Hopkins? I know Beast wants him the pick before. Anybody else for Hopkins?
Oh, I'm for a receiver, but it's actually not Hopkins. I'm for Davante Adams here.
I prefer him to Chubb too.
Give me a guru. What do you got? Why?
Yeah, I mean, I think Davante Adams, they talked about positive touchdown regression. If anybody's going to get that, it's Davante Adams. He only had 5 touchdowns last year, but I definitely see that going up. I see that going back to the double digits because, I mean, Green Bay hadn't really added anybody else. I mean, he's going to still get peppered with targets. He missed a few games last year, but he hadn't shown too much durability concerns. So, I mean, I think he'll be back playing a full season, and he'll, I believe, have well over 1,000 yards, double-digit TDs, and close to 100 catches. And to me, that's the perfect spot, 1.7 for him. He's just so consistent, especially on a week-to-week basis. I have Davante right there at 1.7.
That boy's country, boy.
5 touchdowns in 6 games.
Beast, one more time. I can't hear you, man.
I said after the bye, Adams came back and scored 5 touchdowns in 6 games.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt all year. People sleeping on Adams. I agree, but I kind of feel like Chubb is the safe pick here. I'm voting Chubb. Who's voting Chubb?
1, 2, 3.
I see why y'all be losing.
Okay, who's voting?
What?
Who's voting Davante Adams?
Yeah, right.
Who wants Adams?
Right.
Adams, raise your hand. Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Okay. Then who wants Derrick Henry?
Man, we are.
This is where it gets funky, guys.
How about for times for purposes of times we go Henry and then we go Chubb. Henry Chubb. And then we're next.
My back, because the guy I have, no one else will probably have. So my guy right after is Adams, though.
Yeah.
So that makes it close.
Do you want to lock?
My number 8 is Adams. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
You guys want to lock? You guys
That's who I have too. I have Adams.
Let's lock.
Adams pretty close right here because no one's gonna pick the guy I have at 7. So
let's lock in Adams then, because I think we've already had the argument for time purposes. I know that Hopkins is wanted here, but we can talk about him next. But I think we all loved Adams kind of at that 2 picks ago. So if we go, I'm going to put it on screen here and I'm going to read it off. Let me know if you have a problem with this. But on screen, I have Christian McCaffrey at 1, Saquon Barkley at 2, Zeke Elliott at 3, Mike Thomas at 4, Dalvin Cook at 5, Alvin Kamara at 6, Derrick Henry at 7, Nick Chubb at 8, Davante Adams at number 9. Sound good?
Put Adams over Chubb.
How did Henry jump everybody?
Because that was.
I don't know how Henry jumped everybody.
It was 3-3 for Henry versus Chubb.
It was 3-3, so we tossed a coin on.
Yeah,
that.
Andy was called out first,
True
so
that.
home field advantage.
My bad.
Smitty, you're up. Who are you going to nominate?
I'm going to nominate. I'm not nominating Drake. Calm down. I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins here. I think that there's really no debate for me once Adams is gone, and I could even make the debate that Hopkins could go over Adams. I think it depends on what side of the bed I wake up on. But Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league, in my opinion. I love Mike Thomas. I think they're pretty much equals, but I love this offense. Arizona's going to air it out like we've never seen before. And I am in Arizona, but I am not an Arizona homer. You rarely hear me talk about Arizona players. This year is different because I truly believe with an unbiased lens that this Arizona Cardinal team is going to be unstoppable. And adding Hopkins to the roster. How can you laugh at that when you have Drake, Hopkins, Kyler Murray? Like that's not that funny of a statement, bro.
You don't have an offensive line.
You know what this
was the same argument last
year. Yeah, that's the same argument with Kurt.
And how did they finish?
It was also the same argument people had when Kurt Warner landed in Arizona. You get a better offensive line than you think when you improve an offense and you get rid of the ball quickly. You have it's going to spread this offense
also,
out.
The draft is coming up. They're probably going to draft an O-lineman.
Right, but but when you have DeAndre Hopkins out wide, you're going to pull defenders and spread out the entire defense. This is going to create you could say not a false sense of offensive line, but a much improved offensive line. And when you keep your defense off the field more, they're going to play better as well. It's going to continue to have a trickle effect around the whole offense. So I love when people don't like that offensive line and that's their argument. But that's me. So I'm voting Hopkins. Who agrees? Hopkins, raise your hand. Okay, Nation, Fantasy Football Nation, who are you liking here?
I think it's close between Hopkins and Julio Jones, but I got Julio one spot higher. It's just definition of consistency. You know what you're getting, top 5 receiver. But I mean, it's close. I don't really care either way.
Who else didn't want Hopkins here? Expert. Let's go with expert. Then we'll go couch. Guides, who do you have? You have Hopkins?
No, this is probably a hot take. I have Joe Mixon here.
Oh! Kick him!
Cool.
Kick him off the show! Expert, who do you have?
I have Josh Jacobs.
Okay, that's early, but I like it.
Oh.
It's early, but I like it. I like the boldness of it. Defend yourself, young man.
Obviously, we know John Gruden's history, a clear workhorse in his offenses. I think he'll see a larger role in the passing game without DeAndre Washington opening up 41 targets, 36 catches. He's playing through a fractured shoulder last year, and that shows how much determination he has to get on the field and stay on all 3 downs. They did bring back Jalen Richard, but they need some depth in the backfield, and I think he'll take the next step forward as a clear workhorse with a bigger role in the passing game.
Those are some good points. I also want to add that he cried when he wasn't able to play. I saw the tears.
That's what I like from my player.
I think me, guys, and Couch are all on the same page with Mixon. I want to hear what Couch says. He's got him as his background.
Oh, I mean,
moment to shine, Couch.
It's close. Like I love Adams, but I'm going with the running back here. I got Adams and a couple other wide receivers close, but I'd rather go with the running back. I think Joe Burrow, look, there is concern with any draft pick. Anyone can be a bust, but with Joe Burrow, he can uplift that city. He can uplift that whole team. We see what a quarterback does, and raise your hand if the Bengals are going to draft Joe Burrow. Is that a lock? I think that's a lock.
I don't know that helps.
Yeah, it's a lot to do what though.
Damn.
I think he has the potential to raise that franchise and just take it to the next level. I really think he will. And with that, I think Mixon's super talented, and we've seen him on fire the last half of the season. And
my number one
running back here.
My number 1 or number 2 bust prediction from last year. He at the end of the year he started to turn it around. I'll admit that, but he was an absolute bust for the first half of the year. Injury, he's got that injury label. You could argue against that. You could argue the injury label to a lot of players, so I get that. That's kind of a biased take in some respects. But to me, the guy doesn't make good decisions on and off the field. And you could say, oh, yeah, that was so long in the past that he did that. The guy's on live streams drinking and boozing, not even focusing on football or staying in shape right now, and he's talking about holding out. That's not my first-round pick. No way.
That's a great point, actually.
No way. I draft guys with character, man. Guys that are working hard, like Alvin Kamara, on top of bouncing ball, juggling weights, and whatever the hell he does. That's my running back.
I had no problem with Joe Mixon here. However, I do have Josh Jacobs finishing in the top 5 running backs. Not that I think he could make it into the top 5. I believe he will be a top 5 running back. However, when you're drafting Joe Mixon, he could maybe seem like a safer pick right here.
All right, who's voting Joe Mixon? I'm not. I'm just raising my hand. Yeah, get that. Okay, 2 people? 3 people?
3.
Okay, who else do we state of mind, come up with 2 guys in a row here for time purposes. Who are we putting in at number 11 and 12?
Well, I guess it's between, who is it? Mixon
It's going to be between Mixon and Julio, I believe.
Mixon and Hopkins?
Hopkins.
With
Joe,
10.
I thought we put Hopkins in.
Yeah, I think Hopkins took the 10.
Wait till we get to pick 20, guys.
We're gonna do like
It's gonna get messy.
we're gonna get like 2 or 3 at a time if we can when we feel it out. So Julio and I'm not on board with Julio here, but you guys sound like
No one ever is, but
Over Julio.
I think there's only 1 vote for Julio anyway.
okay, good.
yeah,
Hey,
Jacobs.
I thought it was Mixon and Jacobs.
So, fellas, are we voting
I'm thinking on
Hopkins in?
Jacobs.
Wait, can we just go around and just name the last name of the person, everybody, really quick?
Go
Who they
ahead.
got here? Who's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, go.
top left?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Expert,
Jacobs.
Guru.
Hopkins.
Nate Hopkins is already gone. Congratulations.
Oh,
You already
Hopkins is 10. Hopkins is 10.
So this is basically Joe Mixon or Josh Jacobs or Julio Jones.
or anybody else.
Okay, I guess that's it.
Guru, who you got?
Jacobs.
Okay,
Jacobs. Hopkins is gone. Jacobs.
Nation,
Julio, but between those, Jacobs.
Beast.
I had Tyreek Hill, but I'll go Julio.
I like the Tyreek Hill argument here. Guides,
Mixon.
Lord,
Josh Jacobs.
Joey,
Mixon.
Couch.
Mixon. And sorry, I didn't have that good of an argument for him.
That's right.
He's a-
Your background
He's a
suffices.
running back and Joe Burrow. That's all I-
You got the background. It's fine.
I got the back.
Hey.
He was the RB6 from week.
Rapper.
Oh, sorry. I love Josh Jacobs and Mixon, but right now I will go with I gotta go with Mixon.
So can we
I win at some.
Rob, I'll let you give your take, and then I'll let you lock it in. I kind of feel like it's maybe Jacobs Mixon here for the double.
I mean, I'm actually on board with Beast with Tyreek Hill. I think there's just a compelling argument of what he can do being the number 1 receiver in a Pat Mahomes offense. So we'll save that one for afterwards, but I think it's definitely going to be Joe Mixon with the 11th spot,
And then Jacobs.
followed by Josh Jacobs.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna put Mixon here. I don't like it, but that's okay. That's why we play the game, right, fellas?
So that's 12 picks. That's the equivalent of the first round.
First round is complete.
Voila.
Smitty, give us a recap.
Okay, recap right here. Here we go. This is looking good. We have at number 1, Christian McCaffrey, Barkley at 2, Zeke Elliott at 3, Mike Thomas at 4, Dalvin Cook at 5, Alvin Kamara at 6, Derrick Henry at 7, Nick Chubb at 8, Davante Adams at 9, DeAndre Hopkins at 10, Joe Mixon at 11, which I strongly disagree with, and Josh Jacobs at 12.
That's rough there. That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't even have him on my top 25.
Mixon, I won't draft Mixon, period.
Top 25, Justin? You can't be that low on him.
Attaboy,
He
Justin.
was just, he was probably
Get on that.
You stand your ground, Justin.
Things serious, low key, but
He doesn't take anything serious, but
Leveling
leveling people.
for Mixon.
You guys hating on Mixon.
Hell yeah.
Some of you guys heard you loved Odell last year. I don't get it.
Let's play that
he's smoking
game.
in the hotel room. He's on the boat trip that became a meme.
You know my defense for that? You can't even What the hell are you talking about, Lord? We can't even hear you. Darth Vader? Now he's frozen. Whenever he does that voice, he gets frozen after. It's funny. Lord, you there?
Cannot compute.
Couch, you can't debate this rebuttal I've got. You were right. I was wrong about Odell. Now what are you gonna do?
And I'm like, well, that's gotta, that logic's gotta apply to Odell. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, fellas, let's keep this thing rolling. We're going with the first pick in the second round. We're looking at a 12-team league. So on my roster here, I want to hear from Fantasy Beast. What do you got at the 13th spot and why?
Let me just say to the viewers, Nick Chubb at 8, I do not endorse. I want to clear my name from that. I had him at 21. But my pick here is Tyreek Hill.
Why?
Pat Mahomes. He's
like it.
I think when you look at a fast receiver like that, I've been looking at Henry's legs a lot, trying to find is he Tyreek Hill, is he John Ross. Ultimately, I think he's in the middle. But you can't just have a track star there. You need a good football player, and that's exactly what Tyreek Hill is. Then you obviously have Mahomes. You don't have a number 2 receiver who is gonna take targets from him on the outside. You have Kelce, who's in the middle. So I think that benefits him, if anything. So I think he has huge upside and a solid floor as well.
I'm going to go ahead and defend that, actually, too. But before I do, can I show of hands, who has someone else at the 13th spot? Who are the names? Joey, who do you got?
I got Julio.
Rapper?
I got Chris Godwin.
Okay, and then Ari?
Eckler.
Yeah!
Interesting bit. Oh, Justin, I didn't see you.
I got Julio too. I already said that though.
Okay, so I think it's going to come down to a Julio
Eckler
Tyreek Hill debate. The only thing I'll add, because I have Tyreek Hill significantly higher than most people, I have him a few spots ahead. Tyreek Hill, if you guys don't remember, in 2018, he was just 5 fantasy points shy of finishing in first place. The dude has the ability to finish number 1 overall. When you can get that sort of upside at the beginning of the second round, I'm all about it. So I'm Tyreek Hill all the way here. So if we're going to debate between Tyreek Hill and Julio Jones, can I get a show of hands for Julio? Tyreek Hill it is.
I don't like that. I don't think he has a safe floor at all.
I feel strong-armed on my own show right now.
I don't really either.
I want to hear from you, Joey. What's the downside of Tyreek Hill with the first pick in the second round?
I mean, like, he's the number 1 wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes, and that can't be a bad thing, being the number 1 receiver for Patrick Mahomes. But even so, he just kind of disappears at times. Like, there's games where he has a good matchup and he doesn't show up. He's not getting the ball. He's inconsistent. They have Kelce being the number 1 guy, and I don't know. Tyreek Hill is so boomer bust.
Someone make an argument against Eckler here, because Expert and I are like, we're pointing at each other like Spider-Man right now. Like, Eckler.
I got one.
So I'm on that.
I got a very small one though. They might
you do?
Be the running back. And so right now, if we're taking this draft seriously, and look, I got Justin Jackson in Dynasty. All right, so I mean, and he's probably gonna suck. I'll just tell you right now. But they might draft a running back, and I think it's a realistic scenario. And so if we're taking this seriously right now, there is that little bit of concern. Other than that, I mean,
so how is that a concern though when he's not a 12, 13, 1400 yard rusher? He's never run for over like 560 or 570. So
the guy they draft, Chargers. They do dumb things.
I know,
they might draft the running back that takes away carries.
But if he's an 800 and 900 guy with 12 to 14 TDs, they're going to need somebody to run between the tackles.
They got Tyrod Taylor as his quarterback. I'm just saying they might draft a running back. People make mistakes. How about if they draft one in round 1? Like, they probably won't. But if they draft the round 1 running back, you're gonna run away from this.
I'm gonna be crying. I'll be crying, Couch, if that happens. So.
Yeah, but other than that, though, like like I said, it was a small thing. Other than that, Eckler is a baller.
I got you. I'm kidding with you.
I think there's a fair comparison between Austin Eckler and Alvin Kamara in the sense that this is not going to be a guy that's going to rush for 800, 900, or 1,000 yards. His efficiency comes strictly in the passing game. So I think he's kind of just, a poor man's Alvin Kamara, in my opinion.
I think he's Eckler.
How would you feel about Kamara if Breeze was gone?
I'd feel terrible. I'd feel bad about all those weapons if Breeze was gone, to be honest.
Who is the quarterback for the Saints? The backup?
Taysom Hill. The guy who's never thrown a touchdown pass in his life.
Technically, it's Taysom Hill. Oh,
go ahead, guys. I want to hear your point.
I was gonna say just with Eckler, Rivers, he's been just a check down machine. Running backs with Rivers.
So is Tyrod Taylor.
I think the last 5 years they've caught like a minimum of 50 passes. I just worry that, we're just taking Eckler and punching in, 90, 100 catches. We don't know if that's going to be the case without Phillip Rivers.
Expert and then rapper.
I just want to say that in Tyrod Taylor's 2 or 3 years in Buffalo from 2015 to 2017, LaShawn McCoy was like top 8 to 10 in both targets and catches. So I see that continuing with Eckler.
What do you think, rapper?
Eckler, there is some concerns because he's not a true workhorse. But my argument here is, why hasn't anybody said anything about Chris Godwin? You guys have concerns about Tyreek Hill. We have some concerns about Eckler. Chris Godwin, did we forget? Tom Brady loves his slot receivers. Bruce Arians loves his slot receivers. Who plays slot for the Tampa Bay? Who was Mr. Consistency with Jameis Winston? Now you're bringing in Brady. I mean, this guy, if you get him on the top of the second round, he has wide receiver 1 upside. Why aren't we talking more about
Joey
Godwin?
Well, you just said they dropped Winston and they brought in Brady, and that's an upgrade for them to win games, but that's not an upgrade from a fantasy perspective.
Why not?
Why not? Tom Brady's not throwing for over 5,000 yards. Tom Brady's maybe going to hit 4,000.
Why not?
Wow.
Rob, I want to hear Rob. Rob, you're shaking your.
I'm actually agreeing with Joey.
Okay.
The benefit of Jameis Winston in an offense is that he's just going to air it out every single. Like, Jameis Winston is insane, and he makes any receiver productive. I think we saw that obviously with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both finishing as a wide receiver 1. I don't think that there's a world where both of those guys are just extremely productive. And
Guru after this.
I just don't see a way how Tom Brady can make multiple. You're talking 3 to 4 options out of that backfield fantasy relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it.
Guru.
And they don't even have to throw the ball as much as they did with Winston. They can run it more now that they have a more efficient and they don't have to play catch up.
That's what they do.
Guru, what do you think about Godwin here? Tell us about Godwin.
Tyreek Hill set in stone, right? He's 13.
Yeah.
All right. Put that in, guys. Tyreek Hill or Julio Jones here at the 13th spot.
All right, everybody, Tyreek or Julio only.
So Tyreek or Julio. So who's Julio?
Julio.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's Hill.
So it's going to be Tyreek.
Tyreek. I'm going to put Julio in at 14 to speed things along, even though I kind of disagree. Mm-hmm. So now we're at Eckler, we're at Godwin, I think, and if anybody wants to throw anybody else out. But Guru, tell us about Godwin and tell us about Eckler. Try and be brief, but hit us with both of it.
Can I throw someone else out?
You sure can. No, you can.
Okay, I'd like to throw out Aaron Jones. That's what I'm throwing out. A lot of people seem to be down on Aaron Jones. They say, the touchdowns will go down, but I feel like he's basically a lock for 1,000 yards. His receiving usage went up last year. I don't see that going down. So a lot of touchdowns might go down some. I still think he'll get at least 1,500 yards from scrimmage and about 10 to 12 touchdowns. Maybe not the 19 he saw last year, but hey, he plays for Green Bay. They're going to run near the goal line. He's that guy. He's that big back there with Aaron Rodgers. So I still see him being an RB1, and so I think I'd like to, I'm nominating him for the next spot on the list, Aaron Jones.
Okay, briefly, Godwin though. Who do you like better, Godwin or who do we have? Godwin and who here?
It's Godwin.
Eckler.
Over Eckler for sure, definitely Godwin.
But now I'm going to be with Smitty here. He hasn't said it yet, but I'm going to take Kenyan Drake over both of those guys.
Wait a minute. You can't.
Same.
Hey, wait. I'm live streaming this. You can't take Drake before I do. This is not fair.
We ruined his show.
You had your chance.
I know. It wasn't my time to call out. But who wants Drake here? Raise your hand. Let's just see if he's in the mix. So we've got how many people? 2. 3. So 3. Okay. So I have a feeling we're not going to win this battle. So
we can do it.
We can do it. Let's get there. We're next. So Godwin or who we at?
Godwin, Eckler, Drake.
Godwin, Eckler.
Hey, I actually like Aaron Jones too.
Oh, and Aaron Jones. Sorry.
What about Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Who wants Aaron Jones? Raise your hand.
Oh, come on. His entire fantasy points came from that game against the Raiders. I'm just joking. Don't rebuttal. I'm just joking.
Is everybody comfortable, even though I don't have him here?
Cowboys too.
For the sake of time,
Gave to-
should we go with Aaron Jones here and then Godwin? Or should we go
How many people are in agreement on Godwin? I feel like it was.
Wait, I mean Drake's heating up.
Who's
Okay.
Only rapper talking about Godwin. Everybody talking about no damn Godwin. One guy.
Okay. Raise your hand if you want Godwin here.
Slightly better.
Godwin here? Rapper? Rapper's
Yeah,
not
Aaron
voting Godwin
Jones is
anymore?
Alright, then I got Godwin too.
Okay,
Next
Rapper's.
is Godwin, Eckler, or Drake.
I go Drake.
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 Drake, raise your hand.
Eckler. Who's for Drake?
Who's for Godwin? Rapper.
I'm Drake actually.
Who's for Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones is already good.
Aaron Jones, I think, already got
Okay.
in. Whatever number we're on.
Okay.
13.
Let me go down to 20 on my rankings here. Drag him up. There we go, Aaron Jones. Right? I'm just kidding.
Can you repeat the top 15 for the gram real quick?
I sure can.
10.
Okay, let me display this for everybody on YouTube here. We've got at number 1 Christian McCaffrey, Barkley at number 2, Elliott at number 3, Mike Thomas at number 4, Dalvin Cook at number 5, Alvin Kamara at number 6, Derrick Henry 7, Nick Chubb 8, Davante Adams 9, DeAndre Hopkins 10, Joe Mixon 11, Josh Jacobs 12, Tyreek Hill 13, and Julio Jones 14, and Aaron Jones 15. And now we're debating Drake. I think who are the
Godwin, Drake,
And
Sorry, did we do Godwin?
I like Eckler a lot too, actually.
Eckler? Yeah.
Yeah, I like Godwin here, but yeah.
Seems like Godwin had 5 votes. Drake had 4.
Wait, can we nail there's 3, right?
Yeah,
I just wanted to be clear. Is it Drake, Godwin, and Eckler right
Yeah.
now?
I think-
Deciding for number 15, 16?
Yeah.
We should narrow it to 2.
I think we could lock all of them in right here and save time. So,
Yeah, like back to back.
so who do we want here, guys?
All right, so who's for Drake? Who's for Drake? One more time.
3? We got 3 of
I'll take
4
Drake.
now.
4. We have 4 Drakes. Who's for Godwin? Oh wait, Lord, are you for
Was
Drake?
that 5?
So out of the 3, I'm for Drake first, then Eckler. No. Drake, Godwin, Eckler.
So we got 5 Drakes. Who's for Godwin? We got 4 Godwins, and then
Godwin.
5.
So Godwin wins.
Wait, no, we have 5 Drakes.
Expert, who you want?
Drake.
You're the tiebreaker then.
It's between Drake and Godwin.
Only Eckler. So.
He picked Eckler though, but yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's tiebreaker.
I'm gonna state of mind now. If you're okay with this, I'm putting Drake at 16, Godwin 17, Eckler at 18.
Okay.
So now,
Let's do it.
Rapper's not happy. Rapper, what's going on? Talk to us, man.
Oh, I just wanted to hear what Expert was going to say between Godwin and
Okay,
Drake.
go ahead.
No,
That's
yeah, I have Drake if it's between those two.
You're like, I don't want to hear anymore.
Hey, we're doing pretty good for having 11 people trying to talk at once. I have to say, this is a pretty good family we got here.
Smooth, doing better than I thought, to be honest.
We're smooth. So, Smitty, 16 through 18. Did you say Godwin, Drake, Eckler?
We'll start at 11. Joe Mixon. 12 is Josh Jacobs. 13 Tyreek Hill. Julio Jones 14. Aaron Jones 15. 16 is Drake. 17 is Godwin. 18 is Eckler. And I know not everybody's going to be happy with that, but we're doing a consensus, best we can type approach. So who is up, Rob? Who hasn't talked?
Yeah,
I don't think we.
who's up?
Fantasy guides, man. Give me who's next.
I got Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
I like it.
I just think volume. He's going to continue to get all the volume. I believe he's in a contract year. He was
Take a lap. Take a lap.
23 touches, just under 23 touches a game last year. I know the coaching staff's different, but Jay Gruden had like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. I think the last time he was a OC and maybe a little bit of Geo. So I don't think he gets as many receptions as he did last year. I think he got close to like 75 or so. But I think he's going to be over 50 receptions, still averaging somewhere around 18 to 20 rushing attempts per game. I think he's just going to get a ton of volume, and this time hopefully score more than 3 touchdowns.
I'm going to add to that. I have Leonard Fournette significantly higher. In fact, about 4 spots higher than what we have him right now. But the argument with Leonard Fournette is just simply the fact that this dude is used so much. He finished 7th last year, and he only scored 3 touchdowns. If you give him only 4 more touchdowns, he's in the top 5 He caught 76 passes. As guys mentioned, his receptions will go down, but I do think that cancels out with the fact that he's going to score 7 to 8 touchdowns this year. So
Hey guys, we got a peeper in here. Monkey Knife Fight, the actual brand, is in the chat saying, Smitty, what's up? They're going to give away a T-shirt and a hat to the best commenter, the best comment. So throw a comment out in the YouTube. The best comment's going to win a hat. The second best will win. So toss it out. Thanks, Monkey Knife Fight.
But
Let's hear it, Lord. What do you got?
It sounded like everybody is good with this, right?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Fournette,
vote.
I am. I just didn't hear nobody jump in and like disagree.
I've been jumping in too much, so I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I'm waiting too. I hate Fournette here.
Also, it gotta be my turn to go next. Like if it been like 40.
First complaint. You win a T-shirt. Okay, go.
I just want to know.
That's true.
I just want to know.
You're up.
Lord, you are up next. I modified it, so you are up next. Any arguments? Who wants to nominate a player here? Because Leonard Fournette was nominated. Who do you guys have?
Can I nominate? Can I nominate someone? And make a little wave here. Pat Mahomes.
Boo.
Get that out of here.
None of you are going to agree with me on this, and I'm fine with that.
Vote for Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm getting up too.
I'm not scared to put my balls on the line here and explain what people should be talking about right now. Is that a guy that has first round value that somehow goes in round 2, and because everybody regurgitates the same crap over and over, that you can't win your league drafting Mahomes in the second round and a wide receiver later that can rival the wide receiver you're taking here. It's crazy talk to me.
Did you win? Did you win, Smitty?
I had a lot of injuries. I would take my team all over again in 2020.
A lot
So
of excuses.
I had Pat Mahomes. I had a lot of injuries. So
All right. Does anybody
Kamara.
else have Pat Mahomes here?
Pat Mahomes, Lord,
One
Lord.
vote.
Leonard Fournette is 19.
Let me ask a question. Do any of you guys have a quarterback in the top 25? You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
I've got 2.
Oh my God, well, yeah.
Top one.
I've got 2 in my top 25.
All right.
I got none.
All right.
You
We'll see it coming.
guys.
But I want to
Hey,
hear
we locking in
another
Fournette
compelling
then?
argument. Couch. Who do you have here? If not Leonard?
Mike Evans.
Okay. Any Mike Evans people in the room? I want to
I
hear.
got it close, not there, but close.
Okay. Nation.
Like-
I got Fournette as well.
Spencer.
Fournette, he's good.
Fournette. And Ari.
Yeah, Fournette.
All right, it's Fournette, guys. And then Lord, you got the next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Since we talked about that, like, let's just be real. We had number 20, right?
Yes, sir.
This is RB1, right? He's RB1, but he just happened to lead the league in touchdown passes last season. Lamar Jackson, folks.
I like that you're going QB
Big
here,
trust.
though. I like
Big trust.
I like Mahomes more, but I like this, and I love the fact that no one sees. The weird thing is, Lord, why does everybody argue with us on this when their ADPs are in the second round? It's like Trump voting. You don't tell people if you vote for Trump, but when the polls come out, everybody voted for him. It's the same thing. QB drafters don't admit they're QB drafters to people, but I will. I'll draft both these guys.
So Lamar Jackson threw for 3,000, threw for 36 touchdowns, rushed for 1,200, 7 touchdowns. He could go to 800 rushing yards and still get the 7 touchdowns. That's still good. That's still worth the second round pick. 800 rushing yards. Because you know everybody's gonna say, oh, they watched film on them last year.
There goes Darth Vader again.
When they lost the playoff game versus the Titans, he still ran for 40 yards.
I'll translate. He runs a lot, so.
Lord, you cut off there at the end, man. But
we got talking. Vader voice.
He said,
I want to hear another nominated. Who's going to go heads up against Lamar
I
Jackson?
got Amari Cooper.
"Oh man."
Okay. Does anybody else have Amari Cooper here?
Oh, hell no.
I didn't even check who I have here.
Beast, give me a quick 15-second of why Amari Cooper should go here.
I think just got paid. He's going to be a huge part of a really good offense. And last year, as an Amari Cooper owner, I couldn't help but notice every time he caught a ball, comes off the field for 2 plays. He was banged up pretty much the entire season. You gotta hope he's healthy now, playing more snaps, and I trust that he is. And so he's my wide receiver 7.
Does that sway anybody for Cooper?
What happens when he goes on the road?
He's gonna disappear for games.
Vanishing act.
But this is the
Gallup
second-
outscores him in 2020. Mark it down.
Lamar Jackson
I'm for Amari Cooper.
is at 20. Anybody else? Do we have any rebuttals here?
Let's take a vote.
Yeah, Evans here at 20.
Okay, so Mike Evans, Lamar
Mike
Jackson, or Amari Cooper.
I love how Lamar gets it, not my Mahomes.
Lamar Jackson voters, raise your hand.
I mean, if I've got to vote between these, I'm throwing down the guy that can win you a league as your second drafted player, Lamar.
1, 2, 3, 4. Lord is 5, but he's frozen. Guys,
Lord, I'll vote on behalf of Lord. I know what he's
RB1
thinking.
Spot, my opinion will change.
Why is Mahomes get more pushback than Lamar though?
Mike Evans.
Because he don't run.
Yeah.
Right.
He just throws a
First of all,
floor
most
of
people
40
play
TDs.
4 points passing touchdown, and I think in that, I definitely have to go Lamar over Mahomes when it's 4 points passing touchdown,
right.
and I'll probably maybe still go Lamar even if it's 6 points.
I mean, I'm okay with Lamar going ahead. I just don't know why people are almost. It was like nobody even thought about Mahomes, but they'll think about Lamar. I'll go Lamar here. So who else has a better?
Nation, do you have something to say?
I was just saying, I'm gonna throw out Travis Kelce.
I'm with it too, man. So actually, Nation, you got the next pick. We're gonna go ahead and pencil in Lamar Jackson at the 20 spot, and then Nation.
Wait, I'm swaying Kelce.
I'm Kelsey too.
For
I got him right. Him and Evans are like tied for me.
For time
so.
restraints, let's put Kelce next then, and just.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead and argue Kelce. Keep arguing Kelce, and then we'll go to.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I don't really think I need to explain myself. Number one tight end for however long. He's definitely, you know what you're getting when you take him. You get that weekly advantage at the tight end. I think it's big.
You're getting Priest Holmes. Like, it's done deal.
Stop mentioning Priest Holmes' name, please.
The real number 1 target for Patrick Mahomes right there.
The real receiver. The real.
Hey. Smitty.
Yes.
I feel like Pat Mahomes is. I like him in the 3rd round, beginning of the 3rd, late 2nd. So I'm with you.
So
there,
you're not with me then.
Okay, then I'm not. I'm better off next.
So I guess we can make this a Travis Kelce Lamar Jackson debate. So
Kelce already won.
Yeah, it goes Lamar then Kelce. I think we're gonna lock it in because Lamar kind of had the vote.
Let's just take a quick vote. Let's like,
Okay.
Let's just pick 20.
Okay.
Let's kick a quarterback out of here. Let's go. Quick vote.
Hey.
Quick vote.
Kelce, raise your hand.
I got swayed.
Kelce, raise your hand.
voters, raise your hand, Travis Kelce.
This is why we do this. 1, 2,
Kelce
3.
or Lamar. That's the only 2 options right now. Kelce or Lamar.
6.
Okay.
6 to 5.
Okay. We'll go Kittle then. I'm sorry, Kelce then Lamar. So, sorry.
Smitty's multitasking guy.
Yeah. Hey, this is harder than it looks. So just want to
It's
tell
very
you.
hard. No, I feel you.
Couch knows my pain. When you're, I handed my phone to somebody one time when I was out doing a live. It was just on my phone, and they couldn't handle the stimulus that you get. It's a lot going on. Okay, so we got Lamar at 21. We got Kittle at 22. I'll repeat them in a second.
What?
I'm sorry,
Wait,
Kelce.
wait,
Kelce.
Wait, where's Kelce? 19.
I meant Kelce. Sorry.
No. When did Lamar leave 20?
Kelce I got swayed. They swayed
Yeah,
me.
we
I
re-voted,
swayed
Lord.
on Kelce, right?
You better not ever go to jail because they're gonna talk you right out them pants.
I've been to jail.
Where do you think you got?
Fun.
Where do you think you got that beard?
All right.
Okay, so
You go out to
Wait,
next 2 people.
so
It's
next-
what?
Wait, isn't it next between Cooper and Evans?
I don't think anybody agreed with Cooper.
I did. There was a couple.
I moved on to Kelsey.
Watch Evans fall out the top 25.
All right, let's roll. We're gonna end this in 15 minutes, no matter what. So we're gonna get through this. So, who's up next?
I should be here. I haven't gone in a while.
Okay, rapper, go ahead.
All right, y'all gonna kill me for this. But I nominate somebody that's probably not in your top 40, and that is Juju Smith-Schuster. Let's not forget, guys, that when Ben was healthy, he was one of the top one of 5 quarterbacks to throw for 5,000 yards. Yes, he had Antonio Brown, but we are talking about PPR. The targets will be there. Juju with Antonio Brown was a wide receiver 1, I believe. I didn't check the stats, but Juju has the talent. He'll have the targets. He's in the right offense. Why wouldn't you want something like that over some of the guys that I was looking at in this spot, like a Kenny Galladay, like a DJ Moore, like a Cooper Kupp, like a George Kittle? George Kittle has disappeared a lot in a lot of games as well. So why would you not go with somebody with wide receiver 1 overall upside? Because that's the upside.
I want to hear from Guru, because Guru hasn't spoken in a little bit, expert and the nation on this topic. And I will say briefly that I like where you're going with this rapper, but the only thing is, like, would I draft him here? Would I recommend anybody rank him here? I get what you're saying, and I'm all on board getting him later, but this high would be tough for me. But I like what I like what you're throwing down, and I think he could rebound. Let's start with Guru.
All right, so we got 20 and 21 just locked in. Kelce and Lamar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, even though I keep saying Kittle, I guess.
22. Well, it's got to be Mike Evans. I mean, to me, Mike Evans should have been going. I don't know why he hadn't been penciled in yet, but if I'm got to make an argument for him, it's that he gets it done year in and year out. I mean, he did it with Fitzmagic, Jameis, and I think he'll do it with Brady as well. He's a big play receiver. He gets his receptions, yards, touchdowns. He's a triple threat. He does it all. I mean, to me, he's a lot safer than the ones Rapper brought up, Galladay, DJ Moore, and all them. I mean, I think Evans is he's in that tier above them, so got to go Evans at this spot.
Expert?
Can I defend that real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Because
Go ahead,
you
Rap.
guys got on me about Chris Godwin and, they're going to throw less. All of a sudden, we like Mike Evans
Hello?
more than DJ Moore, who's going to be actually a good quarterback. And a guy like Juju, I think Mike Evans, saw what Brady did with his outside receivers. Absolutely nothing. When has Brady really had a good outside wide receiver side of Brady? So I don't like Mike Evans over any of the guys like Cooper Kupp, like a Galladay, like
Expert.
It's Evans for me.
Okay, Nation?
Out of the guys that were brought up, I got Cooper Kupp here.
A little early for me. Explain yourself in like 1 or 2 sentences if you can, and then Beast, you're next.
He was a number 4 receiver last year. Now Brandon Cooks and Todd Gurley both gone, plus he's in a contract year.
I think you could get him so much later, though. It's the problem. Like, if you like him. But Beast, what do you think about Kupp, and then who do you like here?
I love Kupp. He would be my next pick.
Wow, you guys are like
I think
besties.
you can draft him later, but I think he'll finish ahead of this. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just chime in here. I just can't believe how we're arguing against Mike Evans. He's in a Hall of Fame pace. Like, this guy has never had fewer than 1,000 yards in his entire career, despite the atrocities at quarterback. Now we actually have. It's just how are we arguing against Mike Evans?
Outside of Mahomes,
like you said earlier, I think Winston was better for Evans from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like everyone's assuming it's Godwin, and if Tom Brady needs somebody to go up and get an errant pass because he has this noodle arm, it's going to be the guy that's been delivering 1,000-yard seasons over and over, that dominates space around him, can go get a jump ball better than really anybody in the league, in my opinion.
Had a receiver like this since Randy Moss.
I vote Mahomes, but you guys won't, so I'm going Evans myself. Lord, last comment on Evans before we vote?
Man, I would actually go Juju with Rapper right here.
Okay.
Juju has had great games.
Joey?
So what are the options here? Evans or Juju, really?
First of all, vote if you're even.
Evans, Juju, Kupp. I'll go Evans here for sure.
And I don't think we're just going to nominate Juju and Kupp next. It depends on what everybody says, but yeah, okay. So for at this point, guides, who do you like here?
Guys.
Steve?
I'll vote for him.
I got Evans.
Okay, so raise your hand if you like Evans here.
Evans.
Okay, Evans. Who's up next? I'll let you facilitate from here on out. State of mind if you don't mind while I kind of control this.
Yeah,
24.
Evans just went on 22. We have
22.
left, guys. Spencer, I want to
Evans is 22.
For a while, and then Steve, fantasy guides are on deck after that. Go ahead, Spencer. Who do you got?
Beast, right? Because I just went. It's Beast turn.
Apologies to me.
I mean, I've never went, but I've talked a lot. So.
Yeah, I don't care who goes. But this is if you feel like you haven't had a lot of time, let me know.
Someone else could go if they want.
I haven't heard from Nation in a minute. Who do you got, man?
Well, I know we're not gonna go with this guy, but I actually got Todd Gurley right here.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Hey, I'm with it.
Yes, sir.
You
You
know
vote
Cooper
on that one.
Cup. You're just on Cooper Cup.
Oh, I thought we put Cooper Cup in.
No.
Okay, I got Cooper Cup and then Todd Gurley right after.
I just like how you're thinking, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cooper
I
Cup
think
is
he's in for a big
dominating. So go ahead, give me your Cooper Cup point.
Pedro did before.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got Cooper.
Analyst, are you on board with the Cup?
No. We can't.
Kenny Galladay. What happened to Kenny Galladay?
I got Galladay.
I like Galladay way more than Cups. We're going wide receiver here.
Yeah, I'm going with Galladay.
I would. Can I say I wouldn't draft Cup in even the third round?
I
But you
probably
would draft
wouldn't
Pat
either.
Last year,
Mahomes
he
in the
missed
third.
the game. Now Cooks got traded.
Beast, who do you got here?
Well, we haven't put Cooper down, so I have Amari Cooper, but I also have Cooper Cup.
Oh, we haven't put Amari Cooper down?
We haven't put Amari into Amari.
I have Amari for Cup.
Oh, I have Amari. Then,
He has Amari
for
Cup.
sure.
I also have Amari.
I still have Galladay.
Still go Galladay.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
I still have
Cooper.
So Amari or
Did
Galladay?
anyone have Kittle?
I have him right after this.
Yeah, I think Kittle's right after this.
Yeah, I have Kittle after Galladay.
Expert, we're losing you in the sunlight with the sunlight going down, man. It's like fading. It's like Back to the Future where the guy fades away from the photograph. Just little by little, there goes Expert.
So it sounds like it's between Galladay and Cooper right now.
Yeah.
I have one guy who no one else has, and then my second guy is Cooper.
What guy?
You want me to say?
Yeah.
Miles Sanders.
Too early for me.
Well, I like him.
That's a sexy pick.
I got
The knock on him is they could draft a running back, but I'm pretty sure the Eagles have everything except wide receivers, so I'm sure they're going to go get a wide receiver.
Yeah. Guys, I want to hear from Ari because he was the first one that brought up the Galladay. Why Galladay here over Amari Cooper?
For me, why not Amari Cooper? Just his inconsistency. Like last year, he averaged like 20 points per game at home and under 10 on the road. I get that he was banged up and all, but I feel like this has been his whole career. It's just him disappearing in tough matchups and stuff. And so for me, it's Galladay. I mean, he's on a contract year. He was the wide receiver 10 through week 9 with Stafford healthy, and he was still the number 5 receiver on the year in half PPR. I mean, he made the best of, Blau and Driscoll in the second half of the year. We know what he did in Thanksgiving against the Bears. He led the league in touchdowns. Obviously, it was a low year for a receiver in terms of touchdowns. He only had 11, and he also led all receivers with 37 targets and 17 catches of 20-plus air yards. So I think with Stafford healthy, they're going to throw the ball a lot. I don't trust Kerryon Johnson or that run game, so that's why I've called it.
I think he makes great points. Did that sway anybody? Any of those?
Right now.
It swayed me. It swayed me from Cooper to Galladay.
And also now the Eagles have that Ronald Darby guy, right, who shuts him down. And so now Cooper is going to disappear. This is, those some good points. I'm not going to lie.
The Eagles picked up Darius Slay, so he's going to have, Cooper's going to have.
Is Mahomes
Darius Slay,
is Mahomes still getting no love here? Mahomes no love here?
No.
No.
This is a Galladay versus Cooper debate. So Galladay, voters, hands up.
Galladay.
1, 2.
Galladay, easy.
I love Galladay.
Soft as hell.
Oh.
I guess.
So Cooper's
Galladay,
in, and then
I guess.
Galladay's in. Is Cooper next? I mean,
I think we can make a compelling argument between Cooper or George Kittle, right?
I have Myles
Cooper
Sanders.
I agree.
Miles Sanders for me.
Yeah, I have Myles Sanders.
Or DJ Moore. How come nobody's talking about DJ Moore?
Because I can't make him my
He's
second
on the
rounder.
Panthers.
I like Moore a lot, just outside the top 25 for me.
Yeah, me too. I like him, just not in the second. Not as my second drafted player.
I want to hear from Guides. Guides had the mic here. Guides, who do you got?
I got Kittle here. He had the same points per game as Kelce. He had the same number of receptions per game as Kelce. He had more yards per game than Kelce. Or no, I take that back. He had basically the same yards per game. So I kind of have him in the same. If you want to take Kelce or Kittle, I wouldn't argue which one. And I think tight end is just it's not as lopsided as it used to be, but tight ends are a difference maker and wide receivers deep. So I'd rather have the difference maker at tight end here.
I'm gonna second that, and I just want to add that after last year, Jimmy Garoppolo finally had his first full year as a starter. It seems like he's been in the NFL for so long, but last year was actually his first full season as a starter in the NFL. I think he can make a lot of improvements coming into this year. We saw some flashes with him. They still got a great offensive line. They still got a great offense. And if he improves, that only means Kittle can improve. Emmanuel Sanders left. They'll probably draft a wide receiver. But as a rookie, he'll need some time, and it'll just make things easier for Kittle. So I'm going to go all in on Kittle here.
I'm okay with that if I can't go Mahomes.
One last thing on Kittle. He had a 28% target share, which is just insane for a tight end. And the 49ers, as much as they want to run the ball, it's going to be hard for them to run it as much as they did last season. You got to think it's going to sway a little bit back to the pass. So if he can maintain that target share, his targets will likely go up. And I think
he's 49ers lost some defensive pieces too, right?
Yep. Nation, what do you got?
I got Kittle here too, but I just want to say the 49ers have been rumored to sign Trey Burton. Not that but
I'm a Niners fan.
God.
I think we can lock.
What's wrong with Trey Burton, man? Philly special.
Here, I've got a little.
Not on my team.
I think we could do something kind of cool here. Hey Rob, I think we can do something kind of cool here. Well, I think we can lock Kittle in here. I think we got a good feel. And then we're going to go around the horn for who you want to be the last pick in this ranking list. Real quickly, let me recap the list so everybody on IG and on YouTube can see it. And then we're going to make arguments for who we want for that last pick, and we're going to go around the horn. You get about 2 or 3 sentences because we've got to make it quick. McCaffrey at 1, Barkley at 2, Elliott at 3, Mike Thomas at 4, Dalvin Cook at 5, Alvin Kamara at 6, Derrick Henry at 7, Nick Chubb at 8, Davante Adams at 9, DeAndre Hopkins at 10, Joe Mixon at 11, Josh Jacobs at 12, Tyreek Hill at 13, Julio Jones at 14, Aaron Jones at 15, Kenyan Drake at 16, Chris Godwin 17, Eckler is at 18, 19 is Leonard Fournette, Travis Kelce at 20, 21 Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans 22, Kenny Galladay 23, George Kittle 24. And right at this point, we're looking at, I'm going to toss Mahomes out. Myles Sanders was brought up. Cooper Kupp's been brought up, which I think is too early, but I respect the bold take on it. Just let me put it that way, Beast and Nation. I don't want you guys to think I'm saying that, bold stuff isn't great. I like it, but I just personally don't agree with Kupp that high. We had Juju brought up a long time ago. So let's start off with Ari. Ari, you have 2 or 3 sentences. Who do you want here?
I have Myles Sanders. We know the talent he is. I get the concern about the committee, but like Cal said, they still have needs at receiver, and even with Darius Slay, their defense is still needs holes. So I feel confident that they're not going to take a running back too early to where Sanders will still see enough work to be in this range.
Rapper, who do you want here?
Since I already said Juju, I want to make a quick statement on a player that hasn't been brought up, and I don't know why, because he's better than Myles Sanders. That's Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary was getting 70% of the snaps. He absolutely went off when he came back. He's a pass catcher. They love him. A knock on Myles Sanders, he's a little injury prone. He was injured in college. He was injured last year. Boston Scott looked good, and Doug Peterson likes to use a committee. So I just wanted to bring that name up since we're talking about Myles Sanders. I think Singletary's better.
Okay, Guru, who do you want here at this pick? 2 or 3 sentences.
All right, yeah. As much as I want to say Myles Sanders, I'd have to go Amari Cooper. I just feel like he's a safe pick, and while his game-to-game inconsistency is frustrating, by season's end, he always ends up with solid numbers. And with Mike McCarthy there, I don't think that's if anything that could help the offense. So I think Cooper just signed a big contract. He'll be good to go.
Couch.
25.
Myles Sanders, basically already covered most of the things. Eagles, great team. They're probably not going to go running back in the draft too early, so maybe not too much competition. Does great with limited snaps. Also, Jordan Howard is gone. Not much competition as of the moment.
Nation, who do you got?
I got Cooper Kupp here. I had him at 16, actually. But between the guys that I mentioned, I'll say Amari Cooper.
Okay. Joey, analyst, who you got?
I got Amari Cooper. He's been a little inconsistent, like Guru hit on. But ultimately, the Dallas offense, they passed the ball a ton last year, and there's no reason for them not to do the same thing this year. If he can improve at all when he's away, then I think he could be sky's the limit for him. But obviously, there's a word about inconsistency. I'm still taking Cooper.
Fantasy Football Lord, who you got? 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, we'll come back to you. Beast. Beast, who you got?
Amari Cooper.
Okay, I think he's going to win. But you have any argument, 1 or 2 sentences you want to toss out?
Now, I made it earlier. Another year with Dak. Just got paid. I think he might be help him.
You said I wasn't with you, Smee. You a lie, because this is the first.
Hey,
how old was
can
that?
I get a super chat right now that we can pass on to Fantasy Football Lord for a Wi-Fi upgrade?
Yeah.
Hold on, Lord. You're next. Beast, go ahead. Sorry.
McCarthy, another year with Dak, just got paid. And he was banged up last year, coming off the field almost after every catch. If he stays healthy this year, I expect big things.
Okay, Lord, go ahead if you're there. Guides, who do you got?
I've also got Amari, although just as we've been talking about, I'm swaying a little towards Lamar Jackson, but I'll lean slightly Amari.
Well, Lamar's gone.
Lamar been gone.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Well, Amari's in.
We got 2 Lords in the house now.
That's tight.
Okay,
He cloned himself.
I'm gonna go first, and then let a State of Mind close it out and decide who is picked. So State of Mind.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, go ahead, Lord.
Let's get Lord on this.
All right.
We'll have faith that you're there.
I'm gonna go with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes, listen real quick. Pat Mahomes, this is the first pick in the 3rd round. At this point, all of those players y'all naming, they're not the best at their position. At this point, you might as well get the best player at his position in the league. If you want him and you got the first pick in the 3rd round, you ain't getting him on the comeback. Pat Mahomes.
But how do we know that wasn't Smitty? Just
yeah,
pulling a trick.
Pulling
one of his tricks.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this is Fantasy Football Lord. Look at my abs. Okay, so
all right, that's good. That's
to close out the show, I'm going to give mine, and then I'm going to have State of Mind drop who he thinks we need to lock in. I'm pretty sure he knows who that's going to be. But Mahomes for me, I think Mahomes is just a league winner as your second drafted player. Like Lord said, at this point, he's almost your 3rd round pick. So if you like 4 or 5 guys kind of close here, if you take the quarterback and you take a guy that you still love at that 3rd draft selection, then you have yourself, a team that I think is unstoppable if Mahomes has a 45-50 TD season. And I just think he's worth more than the 2nd rounder, in my opinion. So I'm locking Mahomes in for me. We've got 2 Mahomes votes. State of Mind, who do you like at the 25 spot? Lock it in.
I think the 3rd round can win the league in most cases. So in the 3rd round last year, Derrick Henry was drafted. Aaron Jones was drafted. So when I'm looking at the players that are going in the 3rd round right now, I think Myles Sanders fits that DNA. He finishes the 15th best running back in fantasy football, and he only played about 10 full games when you're looking at his full season. So when I'm looking at the 3rd round and a player that can just win it for you, I think it's going to be Myles Sanders. So Myles Sanders is my pick.
Okay, do you feel like we had enough Myles Sanders votes? I guess we could vote real quick. Myles Sanders, raise your hand.
Homer.
Okay, that's how many? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Amari Cooper, raise your hand.
Can't believe
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's that.
Sanders. Sorry, I got Sanders.
Okay, so we have 4 to 5 though. So Amari Cooper locks it in, and I'm going on record that Mahomes is an absolute steal at this point. But okay, let me pull this up. We'll review it, and then let me drag Amari Cooper up. He's down there at 30. There we go. This is why we do it. And I think everyone's going to get a lot of value out of this because we're not all going to be right on even 70% of what we call as fantasy football analysts and experts because things change all the time. So I think to get a good consensus like this is excellent content for all of our followers. McCaffrey 1, Barkley 2, Elliott 3, Mike Thomas 4, Dalvin Cook 5, Amari Cooper 6, number 7 is Derrick Henry, number 8, Nick Chubb. Number 9, Davante Adams. Number 10, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 11, Joe Mixon. Number 12, Josh Jacobs. That would round out what would be the 1st round. Number 13, Tyreek Hill. Julio, number 14. Aaron Jones, number 15. Drake, number 16. Godwin 17, Eckler 18, 19 Fournette, 20 is Kelce, 21 Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans is 22, Galladay 23, George Kittle number 24, and number 25 is Amari Cooper. No Pat Mahomes getting drafted in the first top.
And number 26.
Well, Myles Sanders probably would have got.
Myles Sanders.
Yeah, Myles Sanders would have probably got that nod. All right, guys, this is pretty fun. We should do this again, maybe with a different topic. Maybe we debate, a list of players we all come up with and do a kind of round table argument.
Every week we'll come back and do this for every.
Or
sleeper quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You shouldn't draft Mahomes in round 2.
We'll
sleeper quarterback we like.
We'll compartmentalize this into topics, so we'll come on and do a secret. We'll do QBs only next time. I like it, Couch. QBs only. We come on here and talk QBs next time. For those of you in the Zoom, stay put. We'll talk real quickly after. I'm ending the stream right now. Subscribe, follow, go see Couch. Couch, talk about your channel real quick.
Fantasy Couch YouTube channel. Just great content. That's all I got to say. Just check it out. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, hey, it's all good. Move on to the next one.
Couch has a cool intro. I love your intro where you're sitting there. You're watching the couch, then the logo comes up. Logo comes of your beard, and then boom, you're on screen.
That's
I like how you.
That's the only reason people subscribe to the channel.
I love it. I love the intro.
If you don't like that.
Hey, intro. People get mad when you change your intro. You know this, Couch. Like, why don't you put the old intro back?
Yeah, when I change the music, they hate it. Like, why don't I bring back the music?
Ari, you're on YouTube as well. But Ari and State of Mind and Beast and Nation, you guys have like an analyst. You guys have like monster IG accounts that you've grown. I don't know how many years you guys have been at it, but you guys have like awesome accounts. So if you guys don't follow Fantasy Football Nation, Fantasy Football Beast, Guru has an amazing channel. Rapper is getting in the mix on YouTube as well. He has over 10,000 following on Instagram. And he does raps. What's better than that? Rap. Give us a line.
Yeah, go off the dome.
Go.
I think you're really crazy picking up Mahomes in the third round, and you see on Singletary. I think you guys are gonna regret this, like you regret smoking on something that's not little berries. Can I say this on the YouTube screen? The kids should be at home asleep with COVID-19. Hopefully not.
You got something wrong with your dome because you don't like my home. Out.
Like that.
Guides as well. Sorry, Guides. Guides, it has some of the best graphics on IG, so check him out. Lord, he's got podcasts. Fantasy Football Lord's doing good things on Instagram. Who have I left out? State of Mind, obviously. You're getting on. You what?
Yeah, Guru, man.
Yeah, Guru. Are you on YouTube at all?
Guru Nation.
Guru, famous tagline.
How many? Let the people know how many underscores.
Yeah.
For the record. But YouTube just fed to the Guru.
Yeah.
Hey, where you from, man?
Where am I? Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana.
There it is.
Yeah. And Ari's on YouTube as well. Ari is also a reporter for U of A, right? Baseball?
Yeah, for the school newspaper, the baseball team, and the men's tennis team.
Nice.
Did you mention? Wait, Spitty, did you mention?
And analyst, the guy right there with that belt, he won the fantasy football throne. So those of you on IG, this is the guy that won the throne league. That we're gonna all come and take that belt from him.
That's a good looking belt.
It is. Couch.
Really great.
See the shine? You see the shine?
Yeah, but go follow all of these guys. And Couch, are you gonna produce a rapper? Who's gonna put this post production product on YouTube? I know I am. Couch, are you?
No, I'm trying to. If this actually recorded, I'm just gonna post a clip. And I'll see.
Okay.
I'm just gonna post it. Yeah.
Okay. Rapper, are you doing anything? You gonna do an analysis of it or something?
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay.
He's gonna yell at us for not picking Juju.
Yeah. And Beast Nation, I appreciate you guys a lot, man. You got anything you want to say about your stuff?
Hit me with that follow. You already know.
Yeah, Nation and Beast, go find them. This is a face reveal for them. These guys are breaking out here.
I've gone live a couple times.
Okay.
It's really
start doing it more.
Yeah, shy or so.
Lord.
I'm lazy.
Hey, that worked too.
Lord got the
Lord. Go follow the Lord. Go follow Fantasy Football Lord. He's got a good podcast. And Guru, are you? Did I already ask you this? Are you podcasting?
Oh yeah, I'm actually getting back into it this year. They're gonna be up on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Okay.
Bro, I got to get you on my podcast. Them two Southern boys in there. Let's get it.
We won't understand a word of what you're saying, but that's all right. State of Mind, plug some stuff real quick because you helped you came up with the idea to begin with, so I want you to make sure everyone knows where to find you.
Yeah, I mean, Fantasy Football State of Mind is going into the 7th year on Instagram, believe it or not. So it's kind of crazy, but it's cool that this community kind of came from this. I started the first ever Instagram Experts League and the first Instagram Followers League, and I think a couple of you guys were actually in that way back in the day too. So I just appreciate the community that we've been able to build on Instagram. I did not think it was going to be like this a few years back. So
the counselor left, right? And you, who replaced the counselor? This man right here. I took his warm seat and I sat my butt right in that chair and I let one rip immediately when I got into that league. Okay, guys, I appreciate everybody. Last words, anybody?
Don't draft Patrick Mahomes in the first 2 rounds.
Don't draft Nick Chubb at 8.
Garbage.
Stay home.
Stay home. Stay home. Wash your hands. Take care of your mentals. Take care of your chickens and your bread.
The more the people stay home, the quicker we get to knowing that we're gonna watch football.
Yeah, we need football back, guys.
Yeah.
All tea time tomorrow morning.
Who's going live during the NFL draft on YouTube and IG?
Probably everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll be fun.
We should do like a colliding of some of the shows. So like if Couch is live on Fantasy Couch on YouTube, right? Couch, youtube.com/Fantasy Couch. Ari, what's your YouTube handle?
It's called like AKP Sports Talk YT. It's like with one of my friends. So
Okay. Well, they can find that on your IG, which is Fantasy. What, Rap?
I'll be live for the draft on my YouTube channel.
Okay. Fantasy Football Rapper. I say that when we're live, we maybe dial into each other's Skypes and check in with each other and do some kind of round robin on it. Couch and I did that one time. Couch, it worked out okay. We had a little bit of an audio thing because I was trying to add some like buffering or some reverb, but it's cool. We can join each other's shows while we're watching the draft. So stay home. I appreciate all of you. Subscribe, follow. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate it. And stay. Couch has company. Couch behind you. Couch behind you. All right, Zoom guys, stay right there. Later, guys. Appreciate you.